Well, hello everyone. I would say good morning. It's actually evening where I'm filming this video at the moment. But hello to whatever time of day you're watching this. I'm Dr. Anastasia Horonis, clinical psychologist working in the field of addictions. And I'm coming to you again today with another daily reflection in addiction recovery. I'm actually coming to you from a hotel in Tasmania, in Launceston, where I'm going to be working with the Royal Flying Doctors out here this week. But I've got some time this evening, so I thought I'd jump on and make a daily reflection because I have just come back from a few days up in the Gold Coast where we have had our annual addictions conference. And so I am actually the conference chair and MC, which means I get to host everyone at the conference, which is a really lovely feeling. But what it also means for me is that I have come away from those couple of days with lots of thoughts running around in my head and lots of reflections, lots of ideas, and lots of themes that I think are really relevant to people who are going through this process of addiction recovery based on the things that we were talking about at the conference, the conversations that were had, and just the general discussions that I was a part of. So if you're tuning in for the first time, I am a huge advocate for daily reflections in the context of addiction recovery. This gives people a moment to stop, pause, and reflect in their day around a particular theme that can help them in the context of recovery. Now, there are addiction recovery books that exist out there where you can read through each day the recovery for that day. The reflection for that day. But I've decided to write some of my own based on the clients that I see in the clinic for addiction-based work and based on the research that I do and the work that I'm involved in. So based on some conversations at the conference, I wanted to record this daily reflection, which is called Connection Dissolves Shame. Now, we actually had the one and only Johann Hari speak at the conference. He opened the conference for us, actually. He was our opening keynote speaker. And so his words combined with the rest of the conference kind of inspired me to go away and write this daily reflection that I'm going to read for you now. I'll read it out and then I'll share a couple of my thoughts around it as well. So the daily reflection is called Connection Dissolves Shame. Shame tells us to pull away, to hide, to stay quiet and manage it all alone. But isolation is actually what keeps shame alive. Shame feeds on silence and secrecy. Connection breaks that cycle. When we share honestly with someone who's safe, shame starts to lose its grip. Recovery grows in community because being seen and accepted teaches our nervous system a new story. I can be known and still belong. You don't have to share everything all at once, just enough to let some light in. Today, think of one small way that you can choose connection instead of withdrawal. A text, a meeting, a conversation, even writing in a journal can be a start. Where shame divides us, connection can provide a repair. So that is the reflection I have for you for today, all around the topic of not just shame, but connection being the antidote to shame. Johann Hari has his well-known talk called The Way Out of Addiction is Through Connection. And he references the rat park studies where there have been some famous studies done where if you put rats in front of sort of taps that provide them with either water or kind of a solution that has some drug in it, the rat will very quickly and easily become addicted to the drug and even consume it to the point where it doesn't feed itself, it doesn't drink water, and it potentially eventually dies. However, they created Rat Park, which was like a fun place for rats to hang out, and it had rides and they were able to socialize, etc. They didn't see the same patterns occur. And so what we find is that when people have community, when people have connection, when people are not feeling isolated, you can be in a room full of people and you can still feel alone. We're not just physically talking about people being around you, we're talking about actual connection, actual meaningful connection. That's why the reflection talks about sharing openly and honestly with other people, that feeling of being seen. Being seen is not just being around people, it's actually being able to share parts of ourselves that perhaps feel a little vulnerable But when we do share these parts, we are met with love and compassion and understanding from others. That's what everyone needs. It's a core, fundamental human need that we have, to be seen, to be understood, to be heard, to be accepted, and to be loved. And so for those who feel like they don't have that in their day-to-day lives, I would say that meetings, group recovery programs like 12-step programs, like SMART recovery programs, like any other inpatient or outpatient group recovery programs provide, that is what they give. Yes, they give skills. Yes, they give, that kind of structure to recovery. But the other so important thing that they give is that sense of connection. Being in a room full of people who have experienced similar things and are sharing openly and honestly and vulnerably about them, and they're being accepted by the rest of the group. That is a really crucial, fundamental experience for people to have. And that is what starts to dissolve that feeling of shame. So I hope this video has given you some food for thought. I hope it sparked some reflection for you. If you feel like sharing, you are always welcome to write some comments in the comment section below. Otherwise, I wish you all the very best in your recovery, and I'll talk to you soon.